Let's get the music up. Yeah, that'd be a nice little move there for Monday morning.
Actually, I was looking on the weekly and just seeing how we're never breaking the previous weekly low. So I put in a 0.01 below previous weekly low.
Did you?
Target at 155.
What, to try and see if you can get it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's like a 15 pound loss, 20 pound win.
Oh, that's decent.
I think we should get it.
Yeah,
It's just
definitely.
a little idea.
Definitely should get it. Yeah, just it's trying it out, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Why
right.
not? Why not? Yeah, we should see a bit of a pullback here with this 1 hour candle. But unless we do start to create like a support over here on the 5 minute, which would be nice, and then we can see price continue moving up. But I think we've given ourselves like a lot of breathing room to allow this to play out, maybe a little bit of consolidation here. So just bear with it. Right, my gold situation. What's going on with gold? Right, perfect. So we're seeing a bit of a pullback now on gold. So I'm not going to take a sell yet because we may break above this resistance here.
That's a good thing you can get in. Like if you wanted to, you can get in on both. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Yeah, exactly. But I'm just waiting to see if we can create like another little resistance or something over here. Obviously, I don't particularly want to be in 2 trades at once, but we'll see. Oh, I need to do one more thing. Yeah, so right now on gold, it's a little bit of a difficult situation. Because that 30-minute candle closed disgustingly. But looking on the 15-minute, if we're going to start creating like a support over here, then I mean, we've got higher probability of breaking through this resistance. Morning, everybody. Good morning. How are we all doing? Hope everyone had a good weekend. Okay, we created a little support on the 5-minute, which is good. Yeah, unless I see some bad rejections over here, like some solid rejections, and then we start closing real deep back in the range, then we should be good.
Yeah, I mean, the Forex should get the wick for overall.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at. That's what we are looking at. I think this move was just like that initial push, and then we've ended up closing above. We need to create some support on the smaller time frames, and then we should continue moving bullish. Good morning, Mike. How are we? But I need to keep an eye on gold. Kelsey, you're in charge of GJ today.
Oh, I'm on that.
Right, wicked. Just want to see what gold does over here. Good morning. How are we all doing? How is everybody doing today? So you saw that Boris extended the lockdown powers.
Mate, I don't even know. Has he?
Yeah, he has. Yeah, well, he's
He did
trying
it ages
to.
ago.
Well, no, he's trying to extend it to like another 6 months, isn't he?
6 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, that's exactly what he's trying to do.
They're looking at the furlough as well to extend that.
They've extended that till September, but he's actually looking at extending the what do you call it? He actually wants to extend the what do you call it? His powers, you know?
Yeah, it's all about the powers.
Yeah, of course it is. Boom, 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 boom. Good morning, good morning. Hey man, really appreciate this. No problem, man. No problem. Yeah, no worries. This is what we do. Yeah, we're here every morning. Every morning we're here. So yeah, so I'm currently in a GJ buy somewhere up over here. Obviously, I was taken before the live stream started. But yes, nice little liquidity grab on the 5. But yes, no problem, Mohammed. Appreciate your kind words. Okay, so gold is trying to close back above. So if we close back above 1725 500, then I'm expecting gold to continue moving bullish to like 1728 and then even further on potentially. But it does really depend what happens right over here, like in this situation here. It really does depend. Kind of like neaten this zone up a little bit. Yeah, it really depends in this situation right now on gold. So gonna have to wait, because if the 30-minute candle closes below this area, we may get a bearish candle. We may get like some form of resistance formed over here for price to continue moving down. Looking on the 15-minute time frame, obviously we're breaking above over here. We spoke about this area on the 5-minute before the stream. But again, I'm waiting to see if we can create some higher level of support somewhere above this range and then look for buys at that point. Right, because if you look at the structure on gold right now, then what we're seeing is we are seeing the fact that obviously gold moved down, it created a low over here, created a low. So basically create a support on the 5-minute right over here, but after making this low. So then you're waiting for like some form of resistance. We create a resistance and then price continued down to retest this support, but actually it could not break down. It could not break down below this support, respected this area, it's come up, it's made a higher level of resistance, and now we're also creating a higher level of support. So for us to take a buy, right, we want the higher time frames to be closing above our key level right over here, and then we want to see maybe like a third higher support level to tell me, okay, that we should start heading up at this point, right? But obviously if we get, let's say for example, the 30-minute candle closing below that area, okay, let's say we get the 30-minute candle closing below that area, and structure wise we start to come down, we make another support over here, but then we start to create like a lower level of resistance, then it may make more sense based on the 30-minute as well, respecting higher time frame structure, to say okay, we should be heading down at this point to potential these lower support levels. Okay, so that's also something that I'm looking at. But right now I'm in a pound yen buy, floating at break even at the moment. So I mean, if you guys are looking to take buys, then it's up to you, but I'm in a pound yen buy right now. But I'm kind of like trading it based off of the higher time frames, like the 1 hour. My trade is going to be based off of the 1 hour time frame. But what I'm looking for right now on gold is to wait to see how we basically react at this level, whatnot. Because on the 15-minute, we're getting a little bit of like contradictive things, you know, because we're below support, right? So technically, you know, we want to create resistance here to sell, to retest this low, but then technically our short-term market structure is creating bullish market structure. So we want to wait a little bit here on gold to see how we set up. I just want to see what's cracking with pound yen. Yeah, it looks like we're trying to create some support over here. I mean, a little bit of a weaker situation, but that's okay. We just can't. We're basically playing this off the 1 hour, right? Because yeah, we have this area of issue here. So if I do start to see some big rejections, and we start to come, say, back below like 151.990, if we start to create some structure below that area, then I'm going to be closing out this trade, right? But apart from that, we can wick down into the zone as much as we want. We can do all that type of crap as much as we want. But as long as we're continuing this move bullish to eventually fill these wicks on the 30-minute, etc., then it will be okay. But see, the thing is, we had consolidation, right? So we had consolidation. We had a lot of liquidity being generated from this lower end of this consolidation, which was one of the things that gave me the, you know, the thing, okay, let's, you know, there's no sells at this point, right? It's only buys. Then we had the 30-minute candle come up and close above this consolidation with a wick to fill. Now, the reason why I like the fact that it tapped above this area, this kind of wick rejection, and then we pulled back, is because if we didn't have the volume to continue up, we shouldn't be closing above that area, right? So, you know, if you think about it, this area, like somewhere over here, is our 4-hour resistance, okay? So that's why I said if we run into some problems here, then, you know, I'm going to be looking to close the trade at that point. However, if we start to break up and we start to ignore this 4-hour area, then we're anticipating this wick fill to come, and then we should end up reaching around 152.220. Okay, but like I say, we need those confirmations, whatnot. We got that now. We're anticipating price to continue moving bullish, but like I say, we are keeping an eye on this 4-hour level. You know, if I get a 30-minute candle closing back in the range, I can just close partial positions at that point, because it makes sense that we can still move up based on the 1 hour and the higher time frames. But obviously, if we're seeing multiple rejections of this kind of vicinity, you know, anywhere within here really, then we'll be looking to close our trade if we're closing back below this area. If we're having rejections here but then still closing above, still creating like support formations, then that's okay. That means we're just waiting to generate some more liquidity, right? But yeah, just gonna have to wait and see what happens. I know the 15-minute candle is currently closed back in the range, but that doesn't really bother me, because I'm basing the trade off of the 1 hour time frame. The 1 hour candle closed above this most recent resistance, but then I suppose we do have this issue part here. But yeah, but what I'm focusing more on is the most recent price action. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm focusing more on. But yeah, like I was speaking to Kelsey, like we may get a pullback to these like lower support areas and then start to come up. So, you know, don't worry about a little bit of drawdown. You know, you should only start to be concerned, like I say, if the, let's say the 30-minute candle closes below 151.980, right, or 151.990, then I would slightly be more concerned about these buys. I would say, okay, probably gonna close partial positions, if not close full thing, right? But until that happens, then we just want to see price really just staying above 152.30 at that point to continue moving up. So did everyone have a good weekend? Morning Salim, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, like, to be honest, I remember last week we spoke about an idea where we kind of tapped into like a possible rejection area, but then we still closed above the resistance. So I mean, it happened again today.
Yeah.
We could just be making a bottom wick. I feel confident in this trade though.
Yeah, I think you should feel confident in it. There's definitely a lot of like confirmations to say that we're gonna head up. So you know, you gotta have confidence in your analysis. But that's why I wanted to have a much more conservative stop loss, because then we're gonna have plenty of time to get out if we're wrong. You know, and then it's also giving me breathing room on the trade if we're right. But yeah, we will get to start to see within the next half an hour or so if you know we're in a bad position or not. Yeah, but right now on gold, it's a little bit of a very difficult situation. Very difficult situation, because we have short-term bullish market structure, right? But we're below a higher time frame resistance where we could create some resistance. So we're either looking for buys above here, or we're waiting to see the structure forming on the higher time frame to tell me that we're going to start heading down. And then obviously the clues will be on the 5-minute time frame, etc. The clues will be on the smaller time frames. You know, like for example, like on the 5-minute right now, we're holding resistance over here. We're holding resistance here, but also we have a higher level of support. So until I see, right, a lower level of resistance, let's say like somewhere over here, then I'm not selling it. I'm not selling it until I see that, because this isn't enough confirmation at this point. We can either respect this high level of support and then continue moving up, close back above this level overall on the 30 minutes. So we've got to wait. So much going on. I've got GJ, we're looking at gold. Is that the overall? No, that's not the overall 30 minute, is it? No, we've got 10 minutes for that one to close. What's good, bro? What's good? Yeah, I'm good. How are you? Yeah. Bit of a difficult situation here on GJ, because the thing is, we could come right back down to this like 151.950 level somewhere right over here and then continue moving bullish. But until, yeah, not really sure at this point yet. Obviously 15-minute did a little fake out, but 15-minute is not a good enough confirmation to tell me that we're gonna head down at that point. Hope all is well. When you have a moment, do you mind checking out the NAS 100 for me? Thanks in advance. I mean, obviously, if you send a chart, it's going to be a lot easier for me to look at what you're looking at, because I don't really know. I don't really look at NAS 100 to trade or anything. Right, we have broken the low on the 30-minute, but that's fine. I'm not so concerned about that. I'm just concerned about where it closes. Yeah, I'm more concerned about where the 30-minute candle closes.
Morning, you right?
Yeah, morning Salim, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How you doing, Kelsey?
Yeah, man. Yeah, good. Thanks. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, see, this is my like keyer level on the higher time frames right here.
The only issue that I've got with the buys based on the 1 hour is the previous 1 hour candle. See how it came up all the way to
Mhm.
152, 100, and then it rejected, and like it goes back in range. If you look on the left as well, where the recent resistance was created, it kind of like rejected that area.
Yeah, I mean, for me, exactly what you're saying. I took this all into consideration, right? That we had this previous resistance here, we have resistance here. There is a lot of issues, but that's why I'm like trying to like hold it for a little bit longer, keep my stop loss like down over here, because then I'm anticipating higher time frames to continue this move up. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. And I mean, if we're not respecting this kind of area here, this mid-range level, then I would agree with you that probably going to close the trade at that point. Doesn't really make sense. But at the same time, if you look, obviously this is our most recent resistance right over here, and the 1 hour candle closed above that. I always knew we were going to see a little bit of a retracement, but it's just if it's going to be one that's going to, like, you know, be a substantial retracement at that point.
Yeah. I mean, it looks good, like in terms of like a higher time frame. It does look like it's wanting to go bullish. I think we just need an urgent like volume to get us out of this area.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true, man. Yeah, I mean, look, technically we made a higher high right over here, so we're pulling back. We don't really know where we're going to pull back to. You know, this kind of area was like where I was thinking on the 5 minute we're probably going to see price come back to. But yeah, I mean, until we see the 30-minute candle closing back in the range, I'm not really going to close any partial positions at that point. I might take something off if we close back in the range on the 30-minute, because then my loss is going to be like a lot less if I'm wrong. But then if I'm right, like the higher time frame should swing up. But yeah, like I say, this is the level I want to be respected, to be honest with you, here. Because if we're respecting this like mid-range support, then it makes more sense that basically we're just generating more liquidity to head further up. Because yeah, like you say, we're running into problems here, we're running into problems here. So as long as we can generate more liquidity within this area, then we're heading up. And that's why I put stops below this level, to make sure that any liquidity grab will be accounted for. Right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for sells, like, I don't really see any sells, because on the 1 hour, the candles keep rejecting the previous support. So it's kind of like, it looks good for buys. We just need a bit more volume to just get us out of that area.
Yeah. No, I was saying at the start of the stream, I won't be looking for sells on GJ until we're below 151, 160, and that is purely based on the higher time frame structure, because it doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, you can take sells from here to here, but is that going to work out like a high amount of times? Probably not going to work out a high amount of times. It's probably going to work about half of the time. So that selling below there, based on the structure on the 4 hour, is going to give me a better on it. Well, probably below here is better, because it's a previous resistance level. But yeah, I mean, I'd sell if we got a resistance, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not just going to take a sell if we see price breaking below support and then, oh yeah, we're going to continue down. No. I want to see a resistance to give me like structure. You know, like when I was talking about gold, like let's say this is resistance. We want to see that lower level of resistance to tell me that structure is telling us we're going to head down. So hopefully this is the bottom wick now been formed on the 1 hour, because we've come back to this like level over here, and then hopefully this is the point now we should start to push up.
Definitely makes sense if the 1 hour needs to come back to that level.
Oh yeah,
at 990.
Yeah, especially because of the amount of problems obviously we run into, which is what like I'm understanding of, which is exactly why, you know, I've had stops in a very conservative area. Because what if we had a stop loss right over here? Would that have made sense? Not really. You know, a 5 pip stop, you're just going to be taking a loss probably like 3 or 4 times out of 10 over there. But stop loss over here, how many times are we going to get that hit? only that 1 or 2 times on the probability that we're not going to head up, pretty much. So that's what you got to think about. But I'm probably going to go make a drink in a minute. My throat is dry.
I've heard you talking about Boris Johnson extending the lockdown, but like, what was that about?
The powers. He's asking to extend the powers.
Really?
Yeah. So basically, like, for example, if he wants to put us back into a lockdown, he can for that extended 6-month period, pretty much. It's crazy, isn't it?
Wow.
Considering I thought we was at the I thought the light was at the end of the tunnel with the vaccine, but I'm not even going to try and get into all of that right now. Right, let's look at gold quick. Alright. Okay, so we've got like a minute and a little bit for gold to close on the 30 minute. Look on the 15 minute. 15 minutes just kind of like, yeah, it is kind of rejecting this area. We're seeing some rejections over here, but there's not really enough confluence right now to tell me that we're going to head down at that point. Look on the 5 minute time frame. Yeah, 5 minutes still respecting like short-term bullish market structure, so yeah, not really enough right now to tell us what's cracking.
Yeah, for gold I've got like a zone marked up, like buys above 1736 from last night, from Asian Open, before Asian Open actually, from market open,
17.
and that's based off the high time frame, like the 4 hour.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the higher time frames to give us a little bit more of a direction here, because it's a really sticky predicament. Either we're heading up to fill this wick and then we're heading on to 1735, or we're going to start breaking down below this level and then we're correcting based on the higher time frames. So got to wait for those confluences.
I mean, the safest option that anyone can take on gold is if you look on the 4 hour, we've got a clean candle on the left between 1740 and 1751, and that's like a nice easy trade if you don't want to have any sort of rejections.
Yeah, I mean we probably run into a little bit of issues here, but I hear what you're saying, 100%.
Because then if you look at, like, if you drop down to like the 1 hour and you drop down to the 30 minute, it makes way more sense. If we close above 1739 or less than 1740, then it should just like respect the previous resistance and it just
Yeah.
head back up.
Right, I'm just gonna give GJ a little look quick
Yeah, no, I
was back in the range.
on the 30 minute.
Yeah, we can possibly close in half.
Yeah, I closed half my position to manage risk.
Yeah,
Yeah, now it feels better just to like kind of like let it run. Might even bring stops below the previous 1 hour candle.
Yeah, I don't think we should.
Maybe, we'll see. Because we may get like one of those just candles that just basically wick down and then continue driving up. So now at this point, like we've managed risk, which is what all I'm happy about. And actually I think we did a good thing, because again, I talk about structure, something I'm getting a lot more like used to. Well, if you can see, this was a support. Now we're trying to create resistance right over here. So if we are going to create resistance here, then this means this wick, it becomes a destination. You can see lower resistance, right? but we do have obviously condescending ideas. So if we do create resistance here, like a stronger resistance here, then higher probability we're gonna head down. But at this point now, you know, if we do continue moving bullish, then at least we managed a bit of risk, and we're gonna come out with either a smaller loss or a little bit of a win. But it's obviously a very wicky area, which means that there's a lot of rejections. But yeah, we'll see. We've still got like 27 minutes, and like I said, from a 1 hour perspective, we want to see this area being respected, this middle of the range. So obviously if we start to see the same formation below this level, then we're going to close that trade, you know, because this is the level that needs to be respected in order for price to continue moving bullish. If it doesn't be respected, and what that means is if the candle closes below this level, then you might as well close it, because it's going to hit your stop loss, probably 70-80% chance. But you know, we're also going to be looking to think, okay, how can we maybe add that risk back on as well if we do continue, you know, give us that ourselves that added confirmation. So that's something I'm also thinking about. Okay. Good morning, H. How was your weekend? Yeah, not bad, thank you. How was yours? GJ could come back to retest this 151.920 mark before moving up. I mean, it can do, but I don't think it will. Personally, I don't think it's gonna. But yeah, it can do. I mean, if you look at the higher time frames now, this is our support being formed here. So we need this. We need this to be respected. Oh, what's going on now? Oh. See, this is why you gotta leave partial positions still running, because GJ is just a madman. Now we're back in profit. It's GJ.
I mean, break of 30-minute high could be another entry now, around now, to get back in. But it's a bit.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure about
maybe,
that one.
I don't want to rush into adding positions on.
No, I think at this point I'm just gonna leave the rest to run. We've got like 2 pips here, so at least we come back into profit, right? And this was the area that I did say we could come back to, but I did have to kind of like manage risk a little bit, because the 30-minute did close back in the range. So when the 30-minute candle closes back in the range, you have to understand that your probability is gonna be a lot less at that point. The probability of price continuing moving up is going to be a lot less. So now if we do take a win, what's going to be my win now at this point? Oh, it's going to be around 40. Okay. Oh no, 1 lot. And what did I close off? Can't remember. Closed half at... okay, so I closed at minus 15 basically. Oh, GJ. It's broken the high and now it's retracing.
You know, if you go in a 15-minute, if you look left on the previous resistance, I think if it closes... Yeah. If it closes above 152.090 or like a 152.100, it'd actually be a really good confirmation. Then what you do, like for someone to have an entry, just to wait for a bottom weight to be created, and then once it flips back bullish again, that'll be a good entry, because obviously we kind of like left one resistance in a way.
Yeah, the only issue I have about that is the range, because I was looking at that this morning and it was like, okay, well, we have this problem area, but we could probably sit through a little bit of drawdown and expect it to break, because otherwise the range from there to there is 9 pips. It's 9 pips. And you have to remember that this whole area is the rejection area on the 4 hour. So if I'm going to take a buy within this rejection, I at least want to get it down over here, because then if I see problems within profit, I can manage it. If I'm taking a buy somewhere over here and then we have problems, I'm going to be sitting in quite a bit of drawdown. But I like your thinking. I just think that remember this whole zone right now is a rejection area on the 4 hour. So what confirmation did we want to see? Well, we wanted to see a break above the resistance. We wanted to see lower end rejections, which we can see that. Obviously this area right over here is a problem area, and that's perfectly fine, but there's not enough range for me to take a buy from here to here. There's 9 pip range. So for me, it wouldn't make sense to buy here. It makes sense to buy here, and if I see problems here, then I'm closing out this trade. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think, yeah, I think you got the right idea. If this was gold or something, I'd say, yeah, that makes sense, because then you can just take a 5-minute entry and, you know, happy days. But this is GJ, and the 30-minute is now flipping bearish. What happened there? Yeah, see, if we don't respect this support now, then I'm concerned about our entry. Because then if we break that, then we're coming down to 151.940. But we've managed risk at this point anyway. Right, let's look at gold. Yeah, still just kind of waiting, like it's not really doing much. Close below that level now. So if we do start to get some resistance forming on the higher time frames, like the 30-minute and whatnot, then it's going to make more sense to look for sells. So we will see. Yeah, this is not a great situation on GJ. And I'll tell you why. Because since it broke the high and then it's coming down bearish, it did exactly what the 4-hour candle did over here. Look at that. It did exactly what the 4-hour candle did over here. It broke above the highs and then it came right back down to break the low and continue moving down to the lower end of the range. And as you look on the 1 hour, we're coming below this level now in the last half of the 1 hour.
No, see, like the way I see it now.
Yeah, I'm not liking
you
this.
know, what I'd like to see is the current 15-minute to flip bullish and close above 152.050, because then obviously that would have looked like a better liquidity grab to then have a nice bullish momentum to head up, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've just closed out full positions, breaking the low.
Yeah, I'm looking at the same thing in a sec.
Yeah.
It's not that, it's the structure that is being formed on the 5-minute is telling me that we're rejecting the highs at this point. So we've got 4 minutes.
It's still respecting the 1 hour.
Yeah.
I haven't closed it yet. I mean, obviously, yeah, I think if this candle starts to come down to break so low, I'm gonna close out. If not, I'm gonna see how this 15-minute candle closes, because it either been closed bullish, then that will make me feel a bit better. But I think done the right thing anyway, because it may still like do that, and I'm gonna have to close it in a sec. So don't worry too much. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be expecting the last half an hour of the 1 hour just to continue up when it start pushing. It hasn't done that.
No. Plus, I never like seeing when we break in the highs and then we come back in the range. That's a bad situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna close this position. We've got 3 minutes. It's
Good.
so like.
Wait for a
Wait,
15
see the
minute.
close.
Just wait for a 15 minute and see how it closes. H.
Yeah.
Because if you look on the 1 hour, it's still respecting the previous lows.
Yeah, it is still respecting the lows 100%. Like, but from a rejection point of view, this is not a good situation. Probably, yeah. Yeah, from a rejection point of view, this is not the best situation. And I know if I close this trade now, but we get added confirmations later on, I can just re-enter in a position. And I'm still eyeing gold as well, so.
About 15 a minute.
Yeah,
Just,
I think
doesn't look nice.
I think I'm gonna close it because it's got like a minute and a half. I mean, I doubt we're gonna end up coming all the way back up in a minute and a half. Yeah, I just closed. Me closed out.
-6 in the end on that. Which
Yeah,
isn't too bad.
that's not bad at all. I mean, for a Monday morning, I'm happy with that. Yeah, I closed my GJ buy over here. Managed. I think it was a well-managed trade actually. So let me see how much minus I got. So I only took 43, and my risk was 100. So that's not bad at all.
Yeah, only 29 for me.
Nice. I always get confused. What's 43 in pips?
You can just see. So like where was your entry? Mine was at 0.43.
Oh yeah, good shout.
And then 0.83 was when I 9.83 is where I exited. So that's 6.
Yeah, same as me then. 6.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. -6. Yeah, especially if this 1 hour candle ends up closing below that mid-range. Yeah, that's a nasty situation to be in on GJ, I must admit. Right, let's check out gold. Oh, gold is moving bearish over here. Looks like we're going to start breaking these lows in the 30 minute. 15-minute candle closed bearish. So we have created like a resistance here now, but at the same time we have the support. So I want to see some form of structure forming on the 5-minute, because if we look at gold, like I've been saying since the start of the session, we're still creating these higher levels of resistance and higher levels of support. So until I see, I mean, if you was going to be in a sell, it would have been off the break of this here, and then you're maybe, but yeah, no, I'm not looking at that. So yeah, I'm looking for a potential pullback, some form of lower resistance created, maybe below this kind of level here, to give me confidence to say that we should start heading down and then eventually reach these kind of lower levels. But yeah. Okay. Hi, hello, Roger. But with momentum, we could see a move to make a new higher high to this 152.300 mark. Yeah, we can. We'll see. We will see. Okay, let's take a look. Right, let's take a look at this chart. Yeah, I think gold's gonna just continue dropping at this point because we're breaking down based on the 30-minute lows. But I'd rather wait to see a pullback. Would be a better, safer option. Okay, so we got, yep, check your setup. We'll do that now. Okay, so this is pound yen. You're looking for buys above 152, 200 level, and you're looking for sells. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And that's pretty good. I mean, some would argue that you can also play sells from this kind of area. You can argue that down to here. This is where the market opened. So if I get a resistance below there, then I'll sell it. If I get a resistance below here, then I'll sell it. Let's take a look on the chart, on my chart, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Just on pound yen real quick. Oh yeah, look at this situation right now on GJ. Yeah, dreadful situation. So I think that was a good thing that we closed that trade early, because now price is coming down. So where would I look for sells? If I was looking for sells, I would look for sells below 151.885, but not what you think, like, oh yeah, candle closing below. No, I'm waiting to see a resistance forming, because if we're rejecting the highs at this point, right, and we start to create some resistance below 151.885, then it makes sense for price to continue moving bearish, right? But at the same time, I mean, the safer option is going to be like way down over here. This is going to be the safest sells. So if I was looking for sells, it would be some form of resistance. Yeah, and the reason why I'd wait for resistance is based on the structure. So if we just zoom out a little bit, right, and let's get a little bit of confluence into the structure forming here. Okay, so if we just take a look at pound yen for a sec, just do a nice pink line so we can clearly identify what's going on. So look at the structure that we have right now. So we can clearly see that we were creating a support down over here. So we have a support, and then we had resistance. So we can clearly see that we're creating a higher level of support at market open. So market structure is still bullish. We have resistance over here, and again we're creating a support right over here. So technically speaking, a good opportunity to have gotten buys was somewhere on this lower end, right? But at the same time, we was kind of expecting with this consolidation, this resistance, for price to break up and then retest the highs, right? Didn't get that. We came back in the range. Probability factor, we managed risk, and I think we're glad we done that. So then where would I be looking for sells? Well, look at the structure forming, right? Obviously, yeah, we have a lower resistance here, but on the short term, we are moving bullish. Okay, so whenever price comes down, breaks the support, yeah, we're gonna move down. There's a probability we're gonna move down. But what I would want to wait for is that pullback. So AKA a lower support has been formed, and then a lower resistance being formed to here, right over here, and then I would short it to retest this low and then continue moving bearish, okay, wherever the low is created. So that's why I'm looking for resistance below this level, because then we'd be creating a lower resistance than compared to this area here, and then that would also give us confluence that we could not get back up to retest the highs, and that we would be now creating potential rejections. But based on the daily, I was still pretty convinced that higher time frame wise that we should start to head up. You know, all time frames, 4 hour, everything like that, structure wise, gave me no indication of any sells. So yeah, right now we've just come back in the range at this point. So yeah, I think we did really well there, Kelsey, to get out with a half loss that was intended.
Yeah, it was decent.
Yeah, I'm pleased with that. Because if that's, say, like the one loss for the week, then, you know, you've even got out with half of what you originally would. So as long as you keep disciplined, then it's all good. But that same approach about, you know, keeping the conservative idea to start with, you know, taking buys here, but thinking to yourself, okay, well, structurally wise, as long as the stop loss is below here, then we should be good. If I start to see problems being created, lower resistance coming back into the range, mid-range not being respected, then it's pretty simple. You can close out with a half of the risk. But allowing your stop loss to be over here gives you that breathing room, that opportunity to decide.
Yeah, that's what I liked it, because it gave us opportunities from the start to reduce risk.
Yeah. But yeah, identifying as well what happens on the smaller time frame is really, really important. But it looks like we've come back to that support that I thought we might do. So we'll have to see. Seems as though, because it seems like we came to this resistance over here, we rejected it again on the 5 minute, and then obviously if this was support, we broke down below that and we started to create some resistance over here as well. So there was like smaller time frame things that were telling us, okay, well, are we really gonna head down? Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this 1 hour candle closes. Oh, looks like gold is moving bearish. Yeah, looks like I missed that sell on gold. Right over here. Yeah, I've seen this type of sell before, but I wanted to see a structure forming, because this candle, it had no wick on the 15, it had no wick on the 5, the next one also had no wick on the 15 and the 5. But from a structural perspective, how you look to trade that is you're looking at this kind of structure here, and then this 5 minute candle and the 15 minute creating a resistance gave you the confirmation right over here. So basically, aka this was resistance here, and then we did this initial impulsive move up, came back, broke the structure, rejection wicks to continue down. But for me, I think I think that I would have liked to have seen like a little pullback and then that lower resistance to then sell. That would have been the safer option for me to sell it. I didn't like the fact that 15 closed with no wick, so I'm quite happy to miss that. Because we can still do that. We can still pull back and then create that resistance that we were talking about. But yeah, as you can see, the 15 minute candle had no wick to the bottom. But yeah, it looks like gold. But still, on gold, it's pretty good where we're coming up. Because if we start to come back below this level, then I'm pretty confident we should see some more downside today. Or if not, later on. Yeah. But GJ is just a little bit annoying. Because, yeah, I mean...
Just the 1 hour, it looks disgusting.
Yeah, it's just kind of like ranging, but I don't know. I'd rather just see it come down to support, to be honest, because then I know, okay, well, we are actually rejecting the highs. But like, how can we close back in the range but then like still look like we want to head up? It just doesn't. I just hate those situations like that. Right, I'm gonna wait for this to close over here, and then I'm gonna go make a drink because I'm thirsty.
Me too.
But yeah, very pleased about that. Because I'm still waiting for some bangers on gold. Oh, sugar, do you know what I forgot to do? The monetization. Yeah, always forget to do that. Oh well. Just add it in now. Always forget to do that. What's going on, guys? We've got like 13 likes on the stream. We've got 52 of you. Man, you guys know the drill by now. For those regulars, you should be habit. You turn up, you like the stream. No, I'm joking. No, you don't have to like the stream, but obviously I do appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, technically we could have held it and then just like, you know, yeah, later on it may like consolidate, but there's always that probability, isn't there, that's gonna hit your stop loss. And I did think, like, you know, for me, if it doesn't respect that mid-range situation, then I'm out. And it wasn't respecting it when we was in that trade. H, just a reminder, you were to give us a small insight on how you draw these levels of yours. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Let me get some food, and I'm gonna grab a bowl of cereal and a drink, and then I'm gonna come back. Then I'm gonna come back and we'll do that. Okay, I'm in sales on GJ 152.071, holding for 100 pip my GJ entry. Okay, I think that's yeah, I don't know. I think that's a cowboy situation. Trying to take sales. 152.071. Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a. But it's up to you. You know, from what I've been speaking about throughout the stream, like, market structure is bullish. I spoke about where's the safest option to take a sell is some form of resistance, right? But again, I'm not gonna. Yeah, that's up to you. It is completely up to you. I can't. Ooh, look at that on the 1 hour situation. Yeah, that was not a good situation whatsoever. So yeah, I'm pretty glad we got out of that one. Right, and this is with London Open volume as well. So yeah, looks like we're gonna head back down to the support level over here with London Open. Okay. Come on, guys, let's get those likes up. GJ back to playing games again. Yeah, I think today is a little bit of a tough day. But yeah, so at this point on pound yen, if you're looking for further buys, I mean, probably the safest option now is going to be some form of support to form above this area. So I think we're going to need to readjust our zone over here. Yeah, I think a support is going to be better because this whole area now is a rejection area, 100%. We've rejected this area again. So this becomes a rejection area at that point. Oh, looks like gold's pulling back. But the only pulling back too much at this point. It's made another support formed. Right. I'm gonna leave you guys with pound yen. And I'm gonna go make a drink. I'll be back in like 5-10 minutes. I don't think there is enough range to go up on GJ. I mean, there's not a lot of range above this level now. You know, we measured this range to start with. There was only a 12-14 pip range. That was all I was gonna take. But it looks like we can't even do that. So yeah, to some extent I agree with you. But yeah, maybe you would want to wait for price to make some form of support above 152, 180. That also may make sense for buys. Yeah, I'm probably gonna say like a support is gonna be better. Yeah, you want to wait for some form of support to form above this area at this point, because this becomes a rejection zone now. And then you don't want to be just taking impulsive sells right over here or right over here. So I'm saying you want to be waiting for solid confirmation. Because we may get a fake out situation, and then that may also give us an opportunity to take buys right back to resistance. You know, if we get candle closing below that level and then a bullish candle closing back above, that may give us that opportunity. But yeah, anyway guys, I'm gonna be back in like 5 minutes, bear with me.
Hi, Kelsey.
I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. So it's like GJ is just completely ranging. Yeah, it looks like it broke below all these previous 1 hour candles. But overall, it may be respecting that area. 4 hour, it's got like 41 minutes left. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a difficult situation right now. What's going on gold? And gold is completely pulled back to this area. Yep, never created a resistance on the 5 minute. So we're gonna have to see what happens with gold right now. It's in a very sticky situation at this point. EN looks like it's trying to trend bearish. We missed quite a nice sell on EN there actually. Don't know actually.
I was gonna say on GJ actually, the 1 hour didn't actually close below that level we had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only thing is though, it did kind of like, it didn't go anywhere, did it? That's the only thing. Yeah, it's not the best situation at all. To be honest with you, I'd rather manage the risk, you know, because how would we know? It may like respect it on the close, but look how close we could have actually been stopped. It's like 3 pips, 4 pips. It's not a lot. So what I'd rather see is like price breaking above again, or at least trying to create some like support on the smaller time frames, and then look for buys, you know. But we'll see. I mean, I'm still even considering buys above this area here as well, but I need to look left. I'm gonna do that in a minute. Right, I brought my TME stuff for me. Right, okay, let's check out this chart. Morning, Harrison. What do you think about this buy and how I managed it? Okay, let's take a look. Ash hasn't been on in a while. Right. Okay, so this is pound yen 30-minute time frame. So 30-minute candle closed bearish inside the range. Enter the trade at the break of the 30-minute high, expecting the price to continue pushing up. Okay, so you took a little bit of an aggressive entry. Okay, that's fine. So stop loss at current 30-minute low. I think, I mean, obviously I know it never worked out, but in those certain situations, I always like to have the stop below the previous candle, because then, I mean, even if it does flip, you're just closing like partial position at that point. Otherwise, it's very quickly can just flip and then, you know, hit your stop at that point. So yeah. Okay, so stop loss at current 30-minute low. Close 50% when the candle turned bearish. Okay, that's good. I like that. That is the best way to kind of manage it, because otherwise, yeah, very, very risky moves. Closed another 50% as the candle continued going down, and remaining position hit stop loss. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it still would have broke that low anyway, so you managed it pretty well. I think that's good. If you're going to take aggressive entries like that, then as long as you're managing your risk in that way, that's fine. Obviously, you need to understand as well why maybe the impulsive move wasn't the best situation in this area. Reason being, if you take a look on the 4 hour, you know, we did that exact same thing on the 4 hour. We broke above the highs to then come back and flip bearish, right? So from a 30-minute perspective, the only reason I had a buy was based on the initial 30-minute close above, right? But then obviously we ended up coming back in the range. I closed some positions off because the 1 hour could still respect. We broke that high and closed bearish. That was the point at which there was a very, very slim chance that we were going to head up at that point. But yeah, right, bear with me literally 1 second, guys. Sorry, 1 sec. Right, sorry guys, I've got a bloody delivery driver at the door, so bear with me like 2 minutes and I'll be back. Sorry about
Go for it.
that. But yeah, but nothing's really happening on GJ right now. Nothing's really happening on gold. The only thing that I'll be looking for on gold is if we do start to create like a lower resistance, but until then, I mean, there's just nothing really going on at this point. This isn't the type of structure that I want to be seeing, so probably going to either wait to see us breaking down below this support, look for structure below here again, or looking for some form of structure above here, because we've got these rejection wicks over here at the moment. So that's something I'm going to be looking at. And then pound yen is just, yeah, I mean, it's trying to move up, but I think at the moment we're going to have to, yeah, just kind of wait and see what happens, to be completely honest. Alright, bear with me literally 2 minutes, guys. Sorry about that. Right. Alright, sorry about that. Sorry about that, everyone. Okay. Morning H, did you take the trade on the stream? If so, what minute was it? I didn't actually take it on the stream, but if you go to the very start of the stream, 7 AM, I discussed that I was in the buys, how I was going to manage it, where targets were, why I was in the buys, etc, etc. But apart from that, no, I did not put the trade on the stream. So it was taken just before, so I didn't really want to like Didn't really want people getting FOMO as soon as they start jumping on the stream, just taking trade just because I'm in a buy, you know. And gold is doing nothing this morning. Pound yen also. It's just not really doing much. So looks like we'll probably be waiting a little while over here.
So to be fair, for gold, like the sells, there could be like two possible entries. Say one around 1721 and one around 1718, if it goes below that area.
Yes.
But I'd say the much safer one, it'll be 1718 because you've got a clean candle like on the 15-minute to just mirror down.
Yeah, that's true. Down. Yeah, better sells are going to be below here for gold to continue moving bearish. So I am kind of waiting. I mean, right now we're breaking above this area on gold, which is pretty good. So if we do start to see like some structure forming, like a, so obviously say right now, right, we had support over here, then we had these higher levels of resistance, okay, but if we, since we're creating a high level of support over here, if we can like react to this level, pull back a little bit and create again some higher level of support, higher probability we're going to break that, you know, because remember this is the 15-minute high right now, so just have to wait. See how the 15-minute candle closed. So the 15-minute candle closed above that area. 5-minute candle, yeah, it does kind of make sense for potential price to continue moving bullish.
But have you got your like your buys, potential buys on gold?
So I think potential buys on gold are above this area here to continue moving bullish to resistance on the 30-minute time frame. Now I know it's not the best of range, but effectively, you know, if you get a good entry on the 5-minute, you know, we're talking about a 25 pip range, and it doesn't even look like a massive range at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, what you're kind of looking for on gold is this kind of like structure formation. So like for example, since like we couldn't break down below this support 1, 2, 3 times, and then since we're creating a high level of support over here, that's going to be like 1 confirmation and then 2 confirmation, right? Obviously this is resistance on the 15-minute, but here's your overall 30-minute area which price needs to like close above. So if you start to get like a little bearish candle, then a further bullish candle form here, that's going to be a good confirmation to say we should break through this and then continue moving up. Target being 1727,940. So yeah, but I'm not taking a buy just yet. I wanna wait a little bit longer for this. Because the 30-minute candle just opened up as well, so that's very, very important. Can you make analysis on GU? No, I can't. Fridays, I don't mind. Fridays, I'll take a look at pairs people want. But on a Monday, I've got so much going on. I'm waiting to see gold. I'm looking at pound yen. So I think for the most part, yeah, no. I think if you want to send a chart, of course, I'll check out your chart. But right now, yeah, just kind of chilling and waiting to see what happens. Keeping an eye on both gold and pound yen. And I gotta munch my cereal before it goes all soggy. Looks like GJ is trying to move up over here. Yeah, I suppose Kelsey's kind of right. We did kind of respect that mid level. The only thing is, the caution thing that I was concerned about, right, was the fact that obviously, yeah, we originally had stops over here, which did safeguard us from any of this liquidity. But then again, you know, if we would have got stopped out and then went our way, you would say, okay, we could have managed risk. So it's a little bit difficult to kind of say. But at the same time, it did kind of respect this mid-range, which is exactly what I wanted to see. And we kind of like wicked back down into this liquidity area before starting to drive up again. So I suppose could have held the buys, something that I was looking to do, but wasn't really expecting it to like pull back like this, you know. So yeah, it's a little bit of a tough situation right now.
It appears like, I mean, the 30-minute, we kind of made our high when we got in, and it's pulled back to that level, and then we formed a 30-minute support, and now we're sort of pushing up. But
yeah,
I mean, the 4 hours is going to close soon, so maybe we're not even going to.
Yeah, we may not even go anywhere. Yeah.
I don't know. We're just in a very tough situation overall in the range that we're in.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely a lack of volume here. Otherwise, you know, we would have moved up with this original move up, because this was a volume time as well. Like 7:30, even 8 a.m. couldn't do it. You know what I mean? But we'll see. I mean, you know, it may seem like we're gonna come up, but again, you know, just we have to remember what the previous candles did. They all rejected that area. So, but obviously, if we do run up, then I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? Okay, let's check out this chart. But yeah, looks like it's like pound yen tried to move up. It's now like coming back in the range. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with this candle. Very funny.
No, Harrison, like as like how, the price is just ranging now on pound yen. Like, I would say the safest option is to actually wait for the buys on close above the resistance on the left around 152, 160. Because reason for that is because if we get a candle that closes below that area, it's gonna shoot some sort of like a volume on the candle, and compared to the range that we've got at the minute, it's just gonna look like a small range in a way. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, this is a very difficult situation, because to some extent we're just reacting off of this rejection area on the higher time. I think it's probably going to be best to wait to see how the 4-hour candle closes.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see how the 4-hour
It's just
candle
because like there was a lot of times where I did see, so we range a lot, and then all of a sudden you see like price pushing up, and you never get like any sort of like confirmation. It just keeps pumping. So like what I'm looking now is I'm looking for like a nice big bullish candle, like even if it's on a 15-minute, it just gives you like some sort of like sign of a volume kicking again. And then obviously that 15-minute bullish needs to be respected. It needs to respect its own low in order to anticipate the price to push further, bullish.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. So we do have a 15-minute candle that's actually broken above, which we couldn't do beforehand. Yeah, I think this can continue moving up at this point.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm not going to get in this though.
No. Yeah, because now stops are going to be pretty big at this point. Plus, it's not even just that, like, the range isn't big enough. It's like 9 pips. Where's the next? So if you did get in on the 15, yeah, it's like a 10 pip range, 11 pip range. Yeah, I'm not interested. I'm not interested right now. But yeah, this should continue moving bullish at this point. Yeah, maybe. I'm not gonna say we could have held the buys, but to some extent, we never would have got stopped.
We could have held a portion, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's hard in the moment when you're seeing it happen. You're like, this doesn't look good at all.
No, but I think had that candle not have broken the high and then come back in the range, I probably would have been more inclined. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because obviously when it breaks a high like this and then comes back in the range, that's a huge liquidity grab. Do you know what I mean? So
that's why I got on the break of the low. I was like, if we've come up all the way there and rejecting it, then breaking lows, it's just
yeah. And plus with the fact that we're buying into a 4-hour rejection area, one could argue that it wouldn't have made sense to hold the buys. I think we've done the right thing in the moment. It's just when you see it go the way you anticipated and you're like, oh, I never would have got stopped, it's like, yeah, that's true. But I mean, at the same time, like, there was a lot of things that did not make that trade make sense, like, to work out. Where is the next target after 152, 170? Let's take a look. That's a good point. Because I did have targets in mind, but I didn't really Okay, so obviously we're gonna have to look at the 4-hour because we don't actually have much information to the left now at this point. So the next target based on the 4-hour, I mean, even above 170, right, we come into a lot of rejections here. I think like we've got an area around 250, so that's not even like 10 pips away. So I think a good buy is going to be above that kind of problem area for price to head up to 152, 650. Looks like a good target there. It's just a shame we can't go back further than that. Maybe even like 500 would be a good target as well, based on that previous information that we have. Yeah, 500 would be a good target. I would just be very careful of, I would just let our most recent price action make a high within these wicks. So anywhere up to like 153, 330, let it make a wick, some form of high, and then wait for support, because then we have our fresh information. Because that looks all rejection. It looks very much like a rejection area. But you see this 4-hour candle, it may close above this resistance, which means that the next 4-hour candle should continue this move up. Right, but we're still having problems at this area over here. Yeah, we're still having problems right there. Gold, looks like gold did continue moving bullish. Let's take a look. Yeah, this would have been a good opportunity to take a buy somewhere over here. Yeah, only thing is the stop would have been slightly larger than I would have liked at that point. But yeah, we've got support formed on the 15-minute time frame back above this area over here. Looking for, yeah, I think it's pretty good. This should continue up to 1727 at this point. 1728. It looks like I missed my entry on gold. Exactly what I spoke about. So those again who were paying attention, I mean I did miss it to be fair because I was looking at GJ, but to be fair we did speak about this. So obviously we respected the support down over here. I spoke about you want to see that higher level of support being created. That was the second confirmation, and then you want to see a further bullish candle forming within this area to indicate that we are staying above that zone, which we got right over here. Yes, it broke down below the low, that's fine, but your stop loss would have been down over here. Your stop loss would have been below this area. Your entry would have been somewhere over here, and then your take profit is going to be this area. But since it's done this now, you know, this is where you can look to start go break even, or even, you know, securing positions, whatever you want to do. But yeah, looks like I missed that move on gold. Boom, boom, boom. I got same target 152, 650. Okay. GJ. Ooh, GJ. Yep. We'll have to see how this 30-minute candle closes now. Because either this is going to be another big rejection, or we're going to start closing above to start breaking up at this point. Right, I know I keep popping out, guys, but I'm literally going to be back in 2 minutes. I am dying for the toilet. So I'm going to try and be really quick so that I can get back in time for this candle closure. Alright, bear with me. I'm gonna make a run.
Looks like we closed just above it on the 4 hour.
To be fair, it looks good for like, I'd say if it breaks, if you go in the 1 hour, and if it breaks the top wick on the 1 hour, it's at 152, 117, I think. If it breaks that, then it'd be valid for buys, I'd say.
Yeah, I think this is the thing.
It's tricky because like on the 1 hour it's full printed, you know, side by side. But then, if it respects the current low of this candle, and if it keeps, you know, I'd say the best thing to do is actually to just wait for the break of that resistance on the left, and then just take it from there, because it's getting really risky because like the range is really small as well.
Yeah, literally like 4 hour just open, we've already broken the 1 hour high within a few minutes. It's barely made a bottom wick. We've got 1 hour resistance right here now. It's just very hard to even get like a re-entry for me. I don't really want to be getting in anything now like that.
Yeah.
Because we've had that 15-minute resistance also at like 0.80, and we haven't got to close above that yet. We've already wicked into it 3 times and unable to get a close. And this 4 hour probably should head up though. Fill the wick at 2:30.
I think it's just a lack of volume, to be fair. So if you look like on the 15-minute time frame, you get big candles, and the previous one it closed like a dodgy bearish candle, so like indecisive in a way. So it's a bit tricky. Even like if it pumps up now, like I really wouldn't mind missing it, because I know that there will always be an entry above that resistance.
Yeah, exactly. Like you wait for later in New York or something, you should get it. Plus, like if you're taking a trade off a 30-minute, your stop's like 5 pips. That's just so. It just shows the lack of volume you've got.
Yo. Oh. What? On my phone it said this candle had no wick to the top.
I'm not back in this though.
Are you not?
Nah.
To be fair, there's just not enough range, is there?
Nah. Like the 4 hours closed above, just like less than a pip above.
Yeah,
but
that's not
still.
really. If anything, if we're coming down, we're coming right back down to this area. So I think, yeah, maybe even a support is going to be better. Because imagine if we start breaking the highs here and we start coming back in the range. I mean, we would be wrong twice at that point. Now, literally, I was looking at my phone because I was like, oh, right, let's just quickly see what happens. And then this candle on my phone had no wick. And I was like, oh, perfect. It's got no wick. I just stay out of it. Do you know what I mean? But, yeah. So gold, gold did continue moving bullish. Yeah, man, I'm so focused on stupid GJ that I missed my nice entry on gold. So basically, okay, so I can only talk about where I would have entered, etc. So this is the candle that I was looking at to enter in. Yeah, I meant no wick on the top, not the bottom. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. So yeah, I would have liked to have entered in off this candle here with stops below this area, and then expecting this minor resistance here to break at that point, basically, and then the target would be there. So right now, this gold buy, if you was paying attention to what I said, then you know that was 18 pips there, and then now currently we're running for about 30 pips. You could have gone break even at that point, and now your trade is running at 30 pips risk free. So that's what I would have liked to have. That's where I'd like to have been in that trade. But yeah, that's a real shame, man, because I would have actually executed on that. But there we go. Look at that, it's pumping up, and now the higher time frame bias should be well into play. Yeah, this wick has become the new target. So if you missed this opportunity on gold, that's it. That's why I'm not looking for anything now, because that was the move there. All from here, you know, look at the structure. Look at the structure forming. You know, we have bullish structure, but we was respecting lower end support 3 times, created higher resistances, pulled back, made that higher level of support. Like I said, this was first confirmation, this was second confirmation. Wanted to see a candle closing above this area. We got that. You take buys here, you anticipate this to break. That's your target. This is your runner. Stops to break even. Stop loss was below here. Very, very simple buy. That's exactly the type of trade that I'm going to be executing on gold coming forward.
Nice little breakdown.
Yeah. Yeah, I spoke about exactly what I wanted to see. Even when this candle did this, I didn't want to take a buy just yet. I said, right, wait for another bearish candle to form, get that bullish candle confirming above this level, and then you can take a buy. Even if you wanted to wait for the next 5-minute candle, you know, buys above here, anywhere even just surpassing this resistance was good to anticipate that move up, and then you can bring your stops to break even pretty quick. So yeah, but I was so focused on pound yen, and I bet it's not even doing anything. So I'm saying it's quite difficult actually having 2 pairs on the go. Yeah. See GJ, we're either coming right back down to this lower end of support, and we'll do the same thing again, what happened over here, or well, yeah, looks like so. Yeah, look at this, man.
Loads of people would have got caught out on that.
Yeah,
if they didn't get the close.
Yeah, see, this is the
break
day.
high.
Yeah, man, this is the thing. This is the day that people are taking those like double losses, over trading on a Monday. Wow. Yeah, I'm glad I gave it the one attempt, and now I'm just, yeah, it is what it is now at this point.
it looks like the next volume that we'd get probably the pre-NY, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah, because this 4 hour, just looking at where we wick down, we're probably going to come back to this area, and then maybe later on start to drive up. But that's quite a big wick now at this point. You know, even if you was in buy like on the 30-minute, you know, you would have got stopped, whatever.
But I think you and Kelsey did the right decision to close early.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And then
Because
yeah,
the thing is, like, yeah, go for it. Sorry. Yeah.
no, what I was gonna say was you're probably right, because even though, like, say for example, we took trade number 1 here, right, and then okay, we managed risk, same thing, and took trade number 2 here, didn't work out, managed risk. It basically would have equaled just a full 2 hit any the one trade hit anyway if you let the full thing play out. The only thing is, this could be the new 4 hour bottom wick, and we do start to come up. But obviously, if this 30-minute closes right back in the range, then it's just another rejection of this zone. It's just disgusting.
Yeah. To be fair, like, the good decision, you know, to close is like to hold the trade for long. It just like psychologically gets you thinking constantly. You know, like you're draining out yourself because you're thinking whether the volume's just gonna take. You're constantly looking to kind of like, you know, use your risk management. So I think missing out this one and just watching it go like that, it's better than stressing yourself throughout, you know, the whole session just to, you know, potentially get wicked out, and then it just goes to the right direction that he was hoping for.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Very, very true. But yeah, we've also reached a problem area on gold as well. But yeah, what a nice move on gold. It ran for about 40 pips in the end. That'd have been nice. Oh well. Suppose the lesson is, you know, that's what happens when you don't pay full attention. Yeah, look, we're just... See, if you look on the 5-minute, right, it's actually fairly evident to see the rejections. Look at this. Resistance here. Same level again. Resistance. Same level 3 times. All rejections of this 152.808 level. So maybe even the best opportunity is going to be when you actually get a 5-minute candle breaking that. Because otherwise it doesn't make sense to buy even if the 30-minute candle is closing above, because we're constantly rejecting this level on the 5-minute. This area right over here is being rejected multiple times. You know, even despite the structure, even despite higher supports forming, doesn't matter, it's just not breaking this area. This is a strong resistance level. Also, Salim, thank you for putting the announcement into the Discord as well. I didn't actually see that myself.
Oh yeah, it's fine. No worries. Do you mean about the Andrew Bailey
That's
tweet.
it.
Is that what you mean?
That's it. Yeah, yeah,
Aye. Yeah, the thing is, like, what I started noticing is, you know, sometimes when you get low impact news, sometimes they do turn into medium or high impact news within time.
yeah.
It depends, like, if it's got like a massive effect. Because there was about 3 weeks ago when there was a Bank of Japan, when there was a tweet about potential further cut on the interest rates.
Oh yeah, and
When
then
it first,
yeah,
yeah, when it first posted, it was on low impact news, and then literally it just changed within an hour. So it's good to like pay attention to these low impact news.
yeah. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
You know, like he was talking about gold.
Mm.
Yeah, if you just go like on a weekly and on a daily, you'd be able to see like if we break a certain point. I'm just gonna annotate if you don't mind.
Yeah, hold on. There you go.
So you see like how the weekly was bullish
Yep.
and how it respected this level here on the
Yep.
weekly. Now, if you go on the daily, so yeah, so like I don't really need to see like all further. It's just like
Oh, you
close
just
to
want to
where we are
zoom
on
in.
the price action. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So obviously we've had this massive rejection previously, like last week. Then the Friday candle, the daily candle closed with a huge rejection to the downside. So I think that rejection is just a liquidity grab, like this. And the only way to actually identify and like verify that could be a liquidity grab is if we break this high, if we break and close above this candle,
Mm.
because then obviously you could say that we're breaking the previous rejection, and also you've got the resistance on this side. So if you got like, let's say you follow it closing within this level here, then the next one should easily fill these candles. You've got a wick to fill, you've got a candle to fill, you've got clean candles, and then the only thing is you have to manage risk in here, like, because you could possibly get rejection again. Obviously, then you have to look on the lower time frame. But that's what I was looking on gold.
Mhm. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. 100%, because this candle here, it acted as if a rejection candle for gold to head down. We moved down, we tapped into a previous level, and then we came up to close bullish. So yeah, I would agree
Yeah,
with
because
you.
like if you remember on the Friday we've had the 1700 area. It was a very strong support on the 1 hour and the 30-minute, and it kept rejecting multiple times. Plus gold's been like moving bearish already, like a lot. So I think some sort of correction could happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there could be some form of bullish correction to some extent. But yeah, like you say, like we'll get better confirmation for that once we're above like 1740, 1738 level. Definitely.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've got like drawn on my chart for gold.
Nice. Yeah, 100%
Thank
agree
you.
with that. Looks like gold is just continuing to pump. Man, I wish I got that entry on gold. So nice. And it was just really simple structure as well, like honestly.
we're gonna have a good week to like this week. You know, in terms of fundamentals,
Mm.
we've got the pound rate, we've got the yen rate as well.
Yeah. What's going on with GJ? Yeah, let's see what news we've got this week. So we've got so Dad Monday. Tomorrow we've got retail sales with USD tomorrow around 12:30. We've got the Bank of Japan. Okay, that should be alright. Wednesday we've got CPI with CAD. We've got FOMC. We've got Euro news, but I don't really look at Euro anymore. And then yeah, Thursday, that's a big one. I thought they already done the rates. I thought
Which one for?
GBP. I swear they done the rates like literally over a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
No. The last time they've done it, it was on the 9th of February. So I think they do it like on the monthly basis. They review the rate.
Oh yeah. What am I saying? Sorry. I forgot February's like it's a smaller month, isn't it? So it's actually felt less time than it actually is.
Okay, to be fair, February went really fast.
Yeah, so I think Thursday is gonna be nothing change. Do you know what I'm saying? Nothing should change at that point. Should
like,
be.
You mean in terms of like interest rates?
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be the same again. Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, because obviously, like there's a massive recovery. Like recovery's been better than expected. So I really don't see a point of Andrew Bailey to cut the rates further or just keep them at zero. Like just like no interest rates at all. So I think it'll be a wise move to just keep them the same, not to take them up now, especially like while taking recovery. You want to have like a nice steady recovery. You don't want to have spikes, But,
yeah, I mean they're talking all this talk about a nice steady recovery, but we'll see about that one. Yeah, we'll see about that one. Right, let's look at pound yen. It's kind of like it's just disgusting, really. I mean, the thing is, there's not enough range, but really the buys aren't gonna happen until we break above this area, because this is the resistance that we've rejected once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times. Right, so it doesn't matter if 30 minutes keep closing above, doing all this. If we're not breaking this area over here, we are not heading up to 152, 170. And it's not even like this range is like 50, 40, even 30 pip. It's an 11 pip range. But I mean, if you're gonna execute, I think maybe you could get a better execution on the 5 minute. Wait for this to break and then execute, keeping your stop loss based on 5 minute structure, maybe like somewhere down over here, just for an example. And then I know you're not going to get like a massive amount of range or whatever, but this is an area to take profit, and then you can let like a runner run or something like that. But I mean, until we break this area, we're not heading up. Even if 30 minute close above, whatever, we're not heading up until we break this level. So really, your buys want to be kind of above here. Would make the most sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would say I would take it above that wick, because then you'd have like an even better confirmation, especially like on the break of that wick.
Yeah,
to keep a stop loss just below the range, I'd say.
Yeah, the only thing I have about taking buys above any wicks would be, I mean, one, then your range becomes that much. The other thing as well is this candle here, it got above all of this. So it got above here, it got above here, got above here, got above here, but it still couldn't close above here. So the only thing really that makes the most sense is a candle that can close above there. Otherwise, we can wick all. You could see a wick like this. You could see a 5 minute candle wick all the way up to our target, and then close bearish.
Back in the range.
Yeah, because we didn't get that one candle that could actually close above. But yeah, this has just been an awful Monday, I have to admit. But to be honest with you, we gave the buys one attempt, right? they didn't work out. So at the end of the day, I stuck to my plan. It didn't work out, and we got out with a small loss. So I'm pretty pleased about that.
You know, the one thing like I've got on my head, like I've got something like thinking of, you know, like we've got the interest rates on like this week, further this week.
Yeah.
Usually, when I've been looking back on the chart, usually what happens is when there is interest rates on the pound, you usually get like some sort of like a bearish momentum, so like a bearish structure on the high time frame, like the 4 hour or the daily, and then as the news comes in, that's when the volume just kicks in and it just, you know, it goes bullish, you know, obviously. But like looking at it now, like seeing how the previous daily candle, how it closed indecisive, like dodgy candle.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at the 4 hour. What I'm seeing is the previous 4 hour, it closed weak bullish. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like for long term, are we gonna retest the lows on a higher time frame to then potentially have another stronger momentum to reflect on the news, if that makes sense? Like for example, let's say to retest the lows around 150 possibly on the daily, maybe to drop on the 4 hour, you'd have like more of like a better targets to look at. I'm just thinking, just like looking at it, like if it just keeps bullish and then you get news and it just keeps bullish and bullish, that's like a massive exhaustion on the pound, you know, and it kind of like doesn't really make sense in terms of like market structure. And it'd be looking more like Bitcoin, you know, how it just keeps pumping, you know.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, if you look at the 4 hour, right, we've just been moving up and 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 up, right? And when did you say the last time that we had interest rate decision?
It was on the 9th of February.
9th of February.
Yeah. Remember, we've had a pullback on the 4 hour, and then as the news came in, that was never corrected.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is like we reject the highs like we did here, right?
Yeah.
Exactly kind of what happened here, right? So if we go back to this kind of we had a situation where we broke above, we had a weak 4 hour candle, we broke the highs, we rejected an area and we pulled right back, right? Then we came back to a lower level of support and then continued up with the trend. So with that idea in mind, what we'd be looking at then is potential rejections over here or anywhere over here, right? Even moving up and then start to come down. And then what we'd be looking at is probably price coming down to either this level or this level of support over here around 150, 300, 151, 200, anywhere kind of this vicinity, right? Is this going to be a deeper level of support? And then we can start to head back up again. But the only thing that I don't see about that quite yet is I need to see that happen with Monday's candle, because the way that we are right now, that kind of tells you that we should continue pumping up once we break this high. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like based on the daily, unless this candle flips bearish, then we're just gonna this is creating a further support here to continue further bullish with the next candle. You know, we can't look at it any other way because that's exactly what happens. So until this candle flips, we're not sure yet that we're gonna head down yet. But if we do flip, this becomes a target, and then effectively, I think you're right, we could end up back to one of these lower liquidity areas. And if you look at pound yen right now, I think that's a pretty good example of why I wanted to wait for a support to form before taking a buy. I think we made the right decision there today to stay out of the second attempt. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Kelsey?
I'd be screwing if I took an entry again.
Trust.
Yeah.
Candles look so funny, like the way it's now, like how it's literally side by side.
Yeah, barcode, man.
It's like a signal on the phone.
Yeah. That's just disgusting. That really is just disgusting. Man.
It's crazy how Bitcoin keeps pumping though.
Yeah, Bitcoin's mad. I mean, was it Greg that sent in that chart? And I just see this. I mean, that is the reason why I do not look at Bitcoin. Let me just Because that
I mean,
was just incredible.
I just couldn't like I couldn't really make sense of like why, because obviously it was based on the daily candle, but that rejection, that
I
wick,
never saw it on TradingView. It's not there.
yeah, I can't
no,
see it
you're
either.
right.
So I don't know whether I don't know what
Who's
broker
his
he's with.
Oh yeah. That's a great point. Now since you said that, the minute he goes, it's not on TradingView, I was like, oh no, you know what that means?
It says broker.
Yep, that's the broker, mate. That is
Yeah,
the broker,
definitely, yeah,
without a
it's,
doubt.
Because I couldn't see it on TradingView, I couldn't see any of the other brokers that I've been looking at, and it just didn't really make sense, you know. But I think it's something to do with the broker.
Yeah, that is
And
100%
probably-
to do with the broker.
Yeah, they're probably not going to compensate anyone, because they're just going to say, you know, it's just slippage. You know, they're just probably class it as slippage.
I don't know about that one.
Positions.
Oh.
Taken off.
I'm gonna have a little chat with Greg. I'm gonna see who his broker is.
It was
because
George.
was it George?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right, okay. Yeah, let me yeah, or if one of you lot ask him who his broker is.
Yeah, I'll ask him now.
Yeah, ask him who his broker is. I'll try and sort it out for him. See what I can do, because there is ways around that. That is because that like, you know, that's just pure. Yeah, that's dodge.
You know, Harrison, if you can get a picture, you know, the one that he posted, just so people can see it on YouTube, just so they know like what we're talking about.
Okay, yeah. Where is it?
It's in a general chat, I think.
General chat. Okay.
But I don't think he was actually in positions then. He just got. Remember a couple of weeks ago, he was trading Bitcoin.
Yeah, but Greg sent that in though.
But no.
I thought it was great, to be fair.
Yeah, it is Greg.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was Greg. It says Greg put Bitcoin D1, nice.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just some incredibly huge ass wick.
That looks ugly, like.
Hold on.
Let's check this again. How many can I go on?
Ooh.
Here, look. For those on the YouTube, this is what I'm talking about right over here. So this is Bitcoin on the daily. Look at this wick. I mean, it could be a malfunction, but if you're in a trade, then that's, you know what I'm saying, that shouldn't be happening.
Come all the way down to like 10k.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Because you go on TradingView. And, well, yeah, where is it? Where is this wick? It's not there.
I can't see it on Vantage FX either.
No. Oh, it wasn't on Vantage, no?
No, it wasn't. No, I can't
Oh,
see
no,
that week.
Yeah,
no.
see, that's no good, man. That's no good. I need to have a chat with Greg then. So I presume it was Greg. But I suppose he wasn't in a trade, I suppose. So I can't really do anything if he wasn't in a trade. But if he actually took a loss, then we'd have to contact the broker.
Definitely, yeah. I mean,
I mean, I don't know what they're going to do, because it is Bitcoin, but still.
See, the thing is, like, you know, like how Bitcoin keeps pumping up. Obviously, a lot of people are making money out of it. I haven't touched it. But like the problem with that is it keeps rising on value, and it's surpassed like the $1 trillion. But the issue is, could you just imagine like when it drops back down again, like I think it'll cause a massive market crash.
Oh, there will. Oh, without a doubt, mate. Without a doubt.
Because there is so many investors in the market that are actually using Bitcoin. You've got Elon Musk, you know, taking it as some sort of like a payment method. And if obviously there's talks about potentially that Bitcoin can reach over $175,000 by the end of the year. And then just imagine if it only crashed to 50. I mean, that's more than 50%, you know, of the value.
Yeah. See,
See,
the thing about Bitcoin, this is exactly why, like, I don't trade it or touch it or even care about it, because the thing that I think about is the minute everyone's jumped on a bandwagon, I think, okay, well, when it all goes wrong, you know, that's where they look back and like, oh man, but you know, Bitcoin was supposed to go to 100k. Look, if you trade Forex like we do every day, we know exactly how the market works, right? We know how the market moves. Why are we getting caught out in buys over here? Because the market's just ranging right now. You know, the market is pulling back from the highs. Similar situation on Bitcoin. with every new high that's created, there's gonna be that, like, there's always gonna be that like certain percent that's like it could just now start to correct. It's like it's just like anything really. But yeah, I mean, I think unless you was in Bitcoin from early, then you know, if you were holding Bitcoin from, let's say, like 2020, right, then I would say you smashed it, right? If you was in, but here's the thing, people have greed, people have all these things. Like, let's say I was in from December 2020, which was not even that long ago, right? Bitcoin's moved up quite a lot since then. But what are most people going to do? They're going to see Bitcoin is up at 60k. They're going to think, well, why am I going to close at 60k when all the media is telling me that we should head to 125k? So they're holding that position, and then the minute it comes back down to like 20,000, they're gonna think, oh crap, you know, I should have secured positions or whatever. But yeah, see, this is why I just don't really like going near this sort of thing, man. Do you know what I mean? But really, if you look at it, it's pretty simple. Like looking at Bitcoin, do you know what I mean? It's pretty simple. It's just the same as any other currency pair. Well, not, it's not a currency, but what I'm trying to say is, like, it's just like any other instrument that we look at on the charts. You know, you just have to understand what the market's telling you. You know, forget what everybody else is telling you about, oh yeah, Bitcoin's going there. Focus on what the market is telling you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've noticed like a certain pattern with Bitcoin, you know, because obviously Vantage FX, you can't trade Bitcoin over the weekend. I've noticed something, like every time when, like, let's say when the market's opening on Sunday, we always see gaps.
Yeah.
Like bullish gaps on the daily.
Yeah.
So like the daily on Bitcoin, it closed at 57k, and then it opened at like 60k.
Really?
And I've been seeing that a lot on that. Yeah, if you look on the Vantage FX, you'll notice, like, on the daily you can see gaps in the market. Then the last week it closed at 49k, and then it opened at 50k. I mean, I know, like, it's not a massive gap, but it's still a gap. So I think it does a lot of like bullish momentum during the weekend.
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't even got Bitcoin on my Vantage thing, but yeah, I'm gonna take a look after the stream, see what you're saying.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I think now on pound yen, I'm gonna be completely honest. I think it's gonna be only buys above 152, 180 at this point. Yeah, I'm not liking no buys in this area at this point.
Because the range that, like, you are aiming for, it's becoming like tighter and tighter.
Yeah,
so
smaller and smaller. Yeah.
I think if we got like a nice big bullish candle, say, like, let me see if I can just.
Right, this is the worst type of market though, because I'll tell you why this is the worst type of market, and people are gonna need to understand this concept very, very, very clearly. This was our original range here, right? What have we done? We've gone sideways, but what have we actually done? We've been going sideways, but we've also been creating structure. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Right. So we've also been creating structure. So every time we're breaking above, we're basically just coming back in the range because we're consolidating. So this is the worst type, because every time you get that re-close above, you're entering back in because you're like, oh, now's the breakout. Oh no, but oh, now's the breakout. No. So this is a stay away. This is 100% a stay away, stay away, stay away situation. Let's make it nice and clear for all those people out there. Stay away from pound yen right now. Right.
Doesn't get just more clearer than that.
Yeah. Not no range, not no trading rate. Just stay away. Don't even look at it right now. Go and set some alerts. Wait for price to start making higher highs. Wait for support. That's the best option now for this point today. But yeah, looks like gold continued pumping way up, man. Looks like gold was the perfect move here today. 65 pip range, 65 pip move called out. Damn. Oh well. Monday. I'm gonna get my hands on some sweet ass moves on gold, don't worry. But this is getting journaled, this little bad boy. So if you people want me to run through this gold trade again, I will run through how you could have caught this move up, what you wanted to be looking for, structure wise, everything else, higher time frames, putting the confluences together, how you could have executed on this move that ran for 65 pips with, I think it was around risk wise, probably around like 19, 18 pips, maybe even 17, 16, but I would have probably kept it just below that little support there to make sure we were nice and safe. Right, so if you want me to run through it, I will. But if not, I went through this particular entry many times. So this was a really nice move. Yeah, I can't wait to start getting my hands on this sort of thing. Been putting in a lot of hours in behind the scenes to try and get as much data as I can to support my idea of what I was looking at over the last month or so, and then now that I feel like I've seen it enough times and I've got enough data to back it up, I'm ready to start executing with a smaller lot position. So probably like a 0.5 lot is what I'm going to go with when I start executing, which I wanted to get today, but I was waiting to see if pound yen would reclose back above and that we could take buys, but didn't really like that in the end. But yeah, so I mean on gold, a 0.5 would have given me about 100 risk down over here, probably a bit less, probably like a 90-80 risk, and then overall, you know, if you had a 65 pip move, you know, we're talking about, you know, 300 reward for your original risk being like 100. So that's a 3-to-1 banker. You know, you can put stops to break even, make that a risk-free trade, and just let it run. You know, the higher time frame targets were there, and so it made sense. But yeah, if people want me to go through it, I will. If not, go rewatch the stream where I spoke about exactly what you want to see here. Right, this whole vicinity, we spoke about this. Here was the first confirmation. We spoke about second confirmation, and I spoke about exactly what I wanted to see within here, and then I would execute it. But me being me, I missed the boat. But that's just life, innit? Sometimes you're gonna miss the boat because you get distracted. And also can't believe that guy that I thought it'd be funny to send a really bad drawing. At least the other guy that done it to me the other week, he put like some real effort into it. Like he actually tried to draw something like good, you know. That other guy, he just squiggled it. Zero effort.
I timed him out and I stopped him from chatting.
Oh, good. I was gonna say, what am I paying you for? I'm joking.
Need a pay rise at this rate.
Yeah. To be fair, you were pretty quick today, so I'll have you up for promotion. Salim was asleep at the wheel, mate. He had no clue. he'd get the sack if that was if he had a more stricter manager. But yeah, now some people just think they're like, that's just I don't know. If I was like 15, I'd probably find that really amusing. But I mean, come on, man, that's probably like some adult is actually taking their time to do that when they could spend that 5 minutes doing that, learning some serious value that could change their income and their future. But hey, if they don't want to help themselves, I don't want to help them. See, that's just the point, isn't it? Like you can't like, if someone doesn't want to help themselves, then you can't do more. Like you there's nothing you can do, you know. Like they need to want to help themselves at the end of the day. Anyway, as we're coming down to the last 15 minutes of the stream, and GJ's doing nothing, we've missed gold, nothing's going on right now. So I think if we ever if anyone's a little rant, anything discussion wise, let's get it out there, because we've got around 15 minutes left before I'm gonna call it a day here today.
Some guy saying that IC Markets had a big wick, but I'm with them and I don't see this wick on my MetaTrader.
Ooh, okay. See, now this is where we're gonna get a little bit more into depth. So you've got an ECM with IC Markets, right?
I've got raw.
Raw. Okay, so that's basically an ECN, yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy, is it Jay? Oh, Jay, yeah. IC Markets had that big wick on Bitcoin. Okay, Jay, what account type are you with IC Markets? Because remember, I spoke about this in another stream. I spoke about brokers, how to understand the two different types of brokers, or understand the two different account types at least. You need to understand the two different account types. That's a minimum. You know, it doesn't matter what broker you're with technically, it's about the account type, right? Kelsey's got an ECN account. That suggests that his broker does not give him the price, right? He gets his liquidity directly from the liquidity provider, and he then, if he takes a buy, there's someone else on the what's it called? There's someone else on the other end of that trade. There's someone else from that liquidity pool that is a seller, right? And that's how. But when you're dealing with STP accounts, or you're dealing with market maker brokers, you're betting, you're trading against the broker. So that is where you're going to see situations like that with a big fat ass wick. Why? Because the broker makes money when you lose, right? Whereas an ECN account, the broker just makes money on commission and spread. That's how they make their money. Whether you win or lose, they get the same, really. Yeah, so it doesn't really bother them whether you win, lose, break even, whatever, they get paid. Yeah, but a market maker broker is trying to profit off of you blowing your account. Understand the difference, and understand, right? When you understand that difference, you're going to understand how and who you need to be up against to give yourself the best opportunity. Do you want to be up against directly the broker? No, that's never going to be a good situation. Why? Because of the photo that I came and brought up on the screen. Shit like that happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, do you know like what I was gonna say about GJ? Like what I'd like to see a candle like this. Obviously with wicks. Then the next one, I'd take it on the break of the high.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of times where I seen like a similar scenario where it just keeps pumping like that. But obviously we need volume. Yeah. Then if you drop on the 5 minutes, you're more likely to see some sort of like
support
a minor support created around here. And then what I do is if I missed entry here, I would take an entry on the break of this resistance on the 5 minute.
Okay. Yeah.
I've taken similar trades previously.
All right. Nice. Yeah. I mean, for me at this point, right, what I'm looking for now is can we like break up? How are we gonna react here? If we break above this level, I'll let it do its thing. If it keeps on running, perfect. Because whenever it pulls back and creates that support, that's when I'm looking for a buy. Because I'm not gonna want to buy. Let's say, like if you think about it, right? I spoke about this area. This whole area from this wick to here is a rejection zone. The only way I'm confidently now going to want to take a buy is if I have a support formed above this area to signal that we are creating support to continue to break out of this rejection area. That is what I want to see. Otherwise, dirty Monday. Dirty Monday. But yeah, similar idea. Does anyone know how a Bitcoin lot size calculator? No, I have no idea. H, the insight, have you done it? No, I haven't done it. I can't remember, what was it you wanted for me to break down again? And I'll do it now before we've got like 10 minutes left, and I'll do it now. Right. Oh, looks like gold can continue moving up over here. Yeah, if we get a support formed on gold. Yeah, but you don't want to be taking no impulses on 5 minutes. What you want to do is you want to wait to see. Another thing that I've been testing is whenever price makes a high like this in this high volume session, you need to wait for at least one 5-minute candle, at least. And then you're looking to see, has the previous candle created like some form of rejection, which this candle had. So now you need to see this candle at least closing bullish to then take a buy for the next one, to continue that move up. That's the only way you can take a buy. Only way you can take a buy on gold, but your stop would have to be below this wick, not below this low, because if we break that low, it could easily happen and then start to drive up. Another thing I've been testing out on gold. Alright, so people need to, impulsive moves on gold, unless you have a candle closing your direction, stay away from it. This situation, no way. Wait for that bullish confirmation, then take the buy as we start breaking the highs or above rejection wicks. Okay, stay away from Bitcoin. Yes, yeah, George has not had a good experience with Bitcoin so far, so I think he's gonna convert back to currencies now. The daily barely got a down wick. Any concerns on that, on GJ? I mean, like I say, so when I'm seeing the daily with no bottom wick, that suggests to me that since market open, we've just had straight bullish sentiment, right? So that's fine. Now, the only way that this is gonna be it's not a concern, right? It's not a concern at this point, because we're not gonna worry about that too much. We're worrying about the smaller time frame structure. What does the smaller time frame structure tell us? That we're still trying to head up, right, at this point. Okay, so when would I say, okay, all right, let's say you're looking for sells. Would it make sense to sell? I know I've got resistance below here, but for a safest sell option, where would it make the most sense to sell it? Probably below this own low, right? Because then the daily has moved all the way up, and then in the second half of the daily candle, or during the MY session, or wherever it is, it's now flipping. And what do we have to the left? We have this wick to fill. So it makes more sense to sell once the candle flips bearish, sorry. But as a concern for buys, I'm not concerned with a no wick to the bottom on the daily, because there's quite a big candle. It's quite a big, it's a higher time frame candle. If it was a 30-minute, I'd say, okay, yeah, you may be right. We might be a little bit concerned here, but overall, I'm not concerned about this until I see this daily candle starting to, I don't know, maybe come back to here, and then I would say to you, okay, there's probably a probability we're gonna flip at this point, and then see some big move coming down. So yeah. Anyway, GJ is dog ass.
I was gonna say as well, like because GJ did gap down, it almost, as it's been able to like respect the close, it's almost like it has created some kind of bottom wick in some way. Would you think that could be said?
I think in a way you're right. Yeah. So basically, what you're saying is, because we gap down, right? If we were going to create more of a bottom wick, it's like, okay. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. I mean? Yeah, I know exactly what you're trying to say. It's just very difficult for me to kind of like put it in simple terms. Yeah. But effectively, what he's trying to say, right, is since we look where we closed before the weekend, we had bearish market structure. Okay. Kelsey, do your job.
Yes.
Do your job.
Oh, what's someone going on? Is it?
Yeah. I've got a moron in here, and he's spamming right away. Oh, these people, man.
Oh, I can see it now.
These people, man, they really do get on my nerves. Yep. See you later,
That's what I
Greg.
do.
Oh, Salim's on the ball, mate. Nice work, Salim. Right.
Did you time him out?
Yeah, time him out as well.
I'll
I ain't
finish
having
him.
that. Good,
Yeah, I
good.
did that.
Alright, cool. I ain't having that. That's just annoying. Right, yeah, sorry. So if we look at the structure before the weekend, basically what Kelsey is saying is, right, we created resistance before the weekend, we broke down, we closed here, and we gapped there, aka, since market open, there was straight bullish sentiment, straight away, to correct that whole situation. So that's why I'm not concerned. Basically what Kelsey's trying to say is, because we gapped down a little bit, this is almost like the daily bottom wick being created. Because you're seeing this, but really it should be like that. You know what I'm saying? But all you're seeing is like this. You're seeing this, but we're looking at this gap down is the wick, is the liquidity that should have been. It's not a lot, but it's the same situation. Market open is like a, it's not like a major event. It's not like a, oh yeah, market open did this, but it's a little bit of a signal to say, okay, well, everybody knows that market open is what happened over the weekend. So if we only gap down a little bit, that means that basically there was no bearish sentiment over the weekend. You know, so up market opens up, it's just straight buys again because pound yen is bullish. Higher time frame structure, everything. So that's basically what he's getting to. But anyway, guys, so stay away from GJ. We're going to be looking at calling it a day here today in a couple of minutes. So the two things I'm looking for, sorry, just quickly, two things I'm looking for is a support above 152.050, but not like, oh yeah, we've got a 30-minute candle just closing bullish here. I want to see something proper solid, you know, like a high being created into this rejection area, pullback, support, continuation. Otherwise, potential resistance for sells below here to continue bearish, to correct, right? And then that would be the daily coming down, the daily potentially flipping bearish, right? So once this breaks, understand where the daily candle flips. It's below this area here. Okay, so that's one thing. And then yeah, that's pretty much it, because apart from that, this is just dog shit, right? And then if you look on gold, you're gonna need to wait for a support to form to take a buy, right? We haven't even got that bullish 5-minute candle yet, so you're gonna need to wait for a little bit of structure here now to anticipate any further upside on gold. And we are coming into a 1-hour rejection area as well, so just pay attention to that. Right, sorry, who was going to say something?
No, I was just going to say something about George, like, you know, like how George used to trade, I think, Bitcoin.
Oh yeah.
Like, even though obviously probably he didn't have the best time, I'm not really sure, but like based on what I've seen, maybe he didn't have the best time. But I'd say if he had some wins on Bitcoin and he had some losses, I think the best thing to do is to actually still backtest Bitcoin and just like look on where he took better trades and where he won, and if he tries to implement the same thing again in the market. But obviously you've got to step straight away and take it live, just, you know, backtest it, paper trade it, even open like a demo account and just execute, because having to execute on ideas like that, and you see that you like your idea actually played out and you actually see blue numbers on your demo account, that kind of like gives you more hopes, and it kind of like puts you more in a lead in terms of like psychologically, because obviously I don't really look at Bitcoin, but it does seem like he enjoyed looking at Bitcoin, so it's just something that I thought of.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I think for George, I think probably, yeah, he can do that. Or what he can do is look at what he's looking at on Bitcoin and see how he can replicate that idea in a safer asset. You know what I mean? So obviously Bitcoin, he's going to have those problems with, you know, market manipulation, etc., which is going to be less in, let's say, you know, if he's looking for the same sort of structure on the higher time frames or whatever. But yeah, I think it definitely can be made work. The only thing I would say with Bitcoin is things like, you know, securing positions, and that is probably going to be very, 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 very important, if not more important than it would on gold or GJ, because it really can ruin your day.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, anyway, I just got to do one more thing before we finish, because I know some people wanted me to do a breakdown on how I draw my levels. So I'm gonna clear everything for a sec. I'm going to show you exactly how I would break it down, even though we do it every day on the stream, but that's fine. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do, let's start with the monthly. I'll just quickly go through this, right? So the first thing I want to do, let's pause the music here because we're coming to a close now anyway. So, oh, and that's the bad drawing that my man done. Right, cool. So, finally, now, in terms of drawing levels, looking at key levels, etc., you always want to be aware of your higher time frame levels. Where's your areas of issue? Where's your areas of potential rejection? Are we heading to a resistance? Are we heading to any wick rejection areas, and stuff like that? So pretty much looking on the monthly, based on the structure right now, we've got a lot of bullish volume. It looks as though we can head up to around, let's just say 155, right? Just roughly. So this area here is our most recent resistance. Why is this an important level? You've got to build a story around why this is an important level. This is a previous support. Candle broke down, broke that level. We pulled back to that area in 2018 and created a resistance. So this becomes a strong key level. Like the YouTube gurus and the people who don't know what the hell they're talking about like to say, they go, oh yeah, this is your institutional level. Yeah, I mean, anyone with a brain could work out this is an institutional level based on the higher time frames and what we're seeing. Oh, SBS, that was just some idiot that sent in a chart trying to be funny, trying to take the piss, but yeah, I mean, is what it is. So yeah, so you can physically see that on the chart. Now obviously where we've got a lot of volume at the moment is while we're breaking through these minor levels. Okay, so we can see where we've had some problem areas, and I'm sure as we go into the smaller time frames you're going to see why that was. So pretty much looking on the monthly, we're anticipating a continuation at least to this wick, which is around like 154, and then we're anticipating further upside. So that's the first thing I'm doing, is keeping that in the back of my mind. Okay, that's what I'm looking for on the higher time frames. The second thing that I'm looking for, see you later Salim, sorry mate, you can shoot off if you want. The second thing that I'm looking for is that I'm going to the weekly now, and I'm like, okay, have we got any weekly levels that may cause us some issue? So right away on the weekly, as we zoom in, we can see prices moving up, and we have an area of issue. What's this price? 152.800. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to say, okay, well, forget the monthly level for a sec. Now this is our more recent or our smaller time frame area of issue. So this is more likely going to be an area where our current weekly candle can continue moving bullish to, right? So that's the next thing I'm going to do. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the daily. Now as we go to the daily, I can start to zoom in a little bit more, look at what's really going on here. So I know that there was some form of resistance in this area, right, based on that wick rejection. I also know that since this candle is moving up, that means we've been creating some support over here somewhere in this area, and that this wick becomes a target. It becomes a target for price to continue moving bullish. Now obviously again, what we want to do on the daily perspective is we want to look left and be like, okay, well, where are we running into problems? And then as we look left, we say, okay, well, we're obviously running into some issues within this kind of area here maybe. So if we continue pumping up, again, this is going to be our target, and we stretch that left. This is around 152.500. 152.400 as a minimum, right? So now you're gonna obviously drag that left. I can't do that right now, but let's go back left. Let's go back left, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna say, okay, I know that there's a problem area around 152.400, so I'm gonna say, okay, this is gonna be my target there based on the higher time frames, right? So that's gonna be my target based on that. The next thing I'm going to do at that point is now I'm going to say, okay, now let's go to the smaller time frames. Let's see what's going on the smaller time frames. So as we look on the smaller time frames, what we can see, okay, well, price has made, oh, we don't want to do that. We want to keep all of this clear. I'll just do it this way. So as we go to the smaller time frame. Now I'm going to my 4 hour, and now I'm trying to see what the most recent 4 hour support resistance is. Well, this is the most recent resistance, which we're closing at on the 4 hour. So there is the potential for price to continue up to fill these wicks and continue on. But what do we want to see in this area? Probably like a minor support being formed, right? For price to continue moving up. Now we're also looking at, this is our most recent 4 hour support level, somewhere over here. You can even argue this area. This is our most recent 4 hour support. So I know that if we can't break up over here, then where's the most likely place we're going to come back to? Right over here, or even this area here. But either way, you're looking at that support, and then you can be a bit more technical and say, oh yeah, we could have some issues here, but effectively, if we can't break up, we're heading back to support, this area here. So already you're looking at your key levels, you're looking at your 4 hour levels, and you're looking at your higher time frame levels. Now you can start to dive in deeper. So now you can go to your 1 hour level, and now you can start to say, okay, what's going on within this 4 hour zone? Okay, well, the 4 hour time frame, the 1 hour time frame, apologies, seems to be creating some support right over here. Why can we see that as a support? Well, we had a support formed here, and ever since then we've been tapping into this area and slowly trying to grind up, right? Obviously we have buys here, didn't play out, missed these buys, closed back in the range. But really, looking at the structure, we are kind of still respecting this mid-range. We should still continue moving up, but we may still run into some issues because we keep breaking the highs and then coming back, right? So it's pretty dodgy to look for buys here because you may just do that same thing again. And now what you're also doing is you're saying, okay, well, where's the most recent resistance at this point? Okay, so again, we spoke about this is the most recent support on the 1 hour. Where's our most recent resistance on the 1 hour? Well, technically speaking, it's right over here, right? This area here, yeah. But at the same time, you're looking at this area is clearly causing us some issue. So what's probably going to be better? It's probably to say to yourself, okay, well, basically we can't close above here, so I'm going to look for buys above here. And then I'm going to look to fill that wick. That's going to be my trade. Because anywhere within this vicinity, we're basically just consolidating, right? So again, me looking back now, I could say, okay, well, yeah, if I had waited for a close above here, that would have made more sense for price to continue moving up. So now you're learning basically from your own analysis, okay? And so yeah, so effectively, that's the 1 hour time frame. Now, again, we want to go to the 30-minute. Now, this is where I stop looking at most recent support resistance. I mean, as in, I don't go below the 30. The 30-minute is my my strongest levels that I like to look at. So now what I'm looking at on the 30-minute, now I've got a bit more information. I've got a little bit more of a conflicting information. Why is that? Because now as we look left on the 30-minute, we have a resistance up over here, right? It's our most recent resistance because this is our clean move coming up to that area. And what we're looking at is our actual most recent resistance right now is going to be over here, right? And then again, as you look on the 30-minute, you're going to see this is that 1 hour support area. So you're just kind of looking at this whole area as a support. So pretty much right now, you can just see price is in a range. What do you do when price is in a range? You don't do anything. You stay away, like I put. So now you're staying away, and now you're waiting. Now, obviously, this is a very difficult situation, and the reason why is because clearly we've been tapping into this area here, right, and having some issues. Okay, so when I see that, then your best option is going to be to look for above here or above here. Let it make a high, let it break up, and then wait for some form of support. Okay, but in most circumstances, I'd say about 8 to 9 times out of 10, you identify your range, which is here. You say this is the most recent resistance, this is your most recent support. What do I want to do? I either want to wait for the most recent resistance to break and I'll take it up to the next one, which is going to be over here, or I'm waiting for this support to break, I'm going to take it down to the next support, which is going to be somewhere down over here. Pretty simple. Okay, so yeah, so that's it from me today. Little breakdown of how I do some levels. We can do some more tomorrow. I'll do like a fresh analysis for the start of the day or whatever. I'll just say, oh yeah, we'll do a fresh analysis, here's most recent support, resistance, etc. But overall, that's the type of thing you want to be looking at. Now, if me and Kelsey did hold the buys, we'd have been sitting in these for about 2 hours. However, I mean, we never would have got stopped, right? but we only moved up about 7 in profit effectively. So yeah, I mean, it's not, we don't know whether it's going to continue up or not, because technically it's in a range. So we would just basically have been hoping at that point, because there wasn't confirmation once the trade after the trade had been taken. The trade had been taken, and then we got like almost disconfirmation, as you like to say. So yeah, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna call it a day there. Let me just answer any last questions. I'm staying with GJ for the time being, boss. Trying to post everything I'm looking at in the Discord too. Yeah, I would do that, George, 100%, because obviously, you know, a lot of us trade GJ, and obviously if you're looking at something and I disagree with it, I'm gonna tell you. You know, I'm gonna say, look, don't think that's a good idea. Wait for this, wait for that. It's gonna be a lot safer. So yeah, sticking with the pack a little bit is gonna give you that confidence. Obviously, I think if you want to trade Bitcoin or you want to do those other type of things, you know, just take it slow, but focus on one thing that you think you're gonna try and like master. You know, you want something that you can be able to master going forward. So yeah, that would be my advice. But yeah, 100% more activity in the Discord will be good. It was going to give you a lot more guidance, and obviously we've got plenty of people here to give you that help. Okay, yeah, man, I've posted what I'm looking at in the HFX London session. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll take a look what you're looking at after the stream and give you some feedback. Okay, awesome. So we're going to call it a day here today, guys. So we have one trade. It was a GJ buy, a managed risk. I closed early for a Monday. I think it's pretty good. Price just ranging. Very, very, very crap price action right now. So to be honest with you, probably a blessing just to get out at this point. And yeah, just call it a day now. Yeah, so pretty much if I'm going to take another trade, I have discussed it's going to have to be price making high above this area. Wait for some form of support. And then look for buyers. Otherwise, yeah, no trade. Okay, everyone. So thanks very much for coming. We'll see you tomorrow for 7 a.m. And drop a like on the stream if you've enjoyed today's commentary. We called out some good moves here today. Obviously, gold ran pretty well. I missed that entry though. A bit disappointed with that, but again, it's just how it goes. So yeah, no problem. Thanks very much. Cheers for coming. Thanks everyone. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. 7 a.m. Thanks, guys.